Hey guys, general knowledge here. Now, I'm here to talk about the whole atheism is unstoppable and drunken peasants mess. Now, if you don't know, I have spoken to Atheism is Unstoppable, otherwise known as Devon Tracy, a couple of times. We're acquaintances. He's a nice bloke. Sort of guy you would have a beer with. From what I've seen, a nice bloke. Now, he made a video responding to Jacqueline Glenn's story about the Charleston shooter and how conservatives were saying that it wasn't race-based but faith-based, and basically the normal stuff. However, this got out of hand when it got to the Drunken Peasants podcast. Now, I've watched Devon's response and the DP's response, and I'm going to make no comment on what I find to be irrelevant content and focus on the facts and the main points of both videos. First off, DP says that Devon believes he was being oppressed. In no way did Devon ever say that he was. He merely called the left what it was: fucking pussies. Now, if you don't know, I am left. I consider myself a left Labour person. I believe in certain socialism, like social medicine, free education, that sort of stuff. But I call a spade, and I don't see what that has to do with anything. Now, first off, Devon didn't even imply that he was being oppressed. He doesn't make that point. He just calls left what it was. So they stop Devon before he makes his first point, or finishes it, and imply that he didn't think that the Charleston shooting was race-based, which it was, because he goes on a second later to say that it was race-motivated. So, fuck you guys. A complete straw man and a fallacy, but let's move on. They then portray him as a racist and thinking that Garner's death was wrong when he goes and explains the difference in the two arrests. Now, if you don't know, Garner was the African American man who was choked to death by NYPD for selling cigarettes untaxed. Now, should he have been arrested for that? Maybe. Should he have died from it? Definitely not. And Devon says that he should not have been killed. It was an illegal chokehold, and but nevertheless, there were different circumstances. Because Devon then says that it was completely different when the Charleston shooter, I believe his name was Rude, something like that, they didn't need to use excessive force because he surrendered when Gardner didn't. He was trying to evade arrest. Now, again, he should not have been killed. They shouldn't have choked him like that when they had him on the ground. However, there was a difference in situation. So, let me finish this point by telling the drunken peasants he fucking surrendered. They had no need for it. And the whole bulletproof vest thing, I'm pretty sure he already had that on, because why would the police do that when I don't think anyone else would have had fucking guns on them? It was a fucking church. Now, I had to go through 10 minutes of bullshit to come to the point where they called Devon a racist for stating that per capita, African Americans commit most of the crimes in the US, which is true. They commit about 52% of crimes when they are a minority. How that works is beyond me, but it does. I mean, I don't understand how a minority can do so much crime, and them not say, maybe we should stop doing this because it isn't working out well for us. I mean, they're only 13.5%. If this is the way the crime should work, the white Americans should have 75%, and African Americans should have 13.5% due to the population size. But no, that's not what the facts show. So, fuck you. Now, not all crimes are the same. I don't know, I saw a thing and Devin agrees with this on a video. I agree, someone stealing food to feed their family is not the same as killing someone, due to the fact that in one, someone dies, and the other, everyone lives. But that's a different thing altogether, due to the fact that they're not committing these crimes. They're robbing, murdering, and drug trafficking and other gang-related crimes. Now, majority of European Americans, on the other hand, hey, if you liberals are going to make us say African Americans, I'm going to make you say European Americans. Anyway, majority of the crimes that European Americans commit is white-collar crimes like embezzlement and confidence tricks. You know, con artists, majority of the time, nobody dies. See, that's the difference. In blue-collar crimes, and people almost certainly die. And embezzlement, con artists, and other forms of white-collar crimes, people don't die. They get stung and their money is stolen, yes, but everybody walks away alive. I seriously don't see what their objection is. It's the truth. Then they pull the racist card, and this, honestly, is when I stopped watching. Like, whenever someone today says, oh, you're a racist, that's when all conversations stop. They're just like, oh, he's a racist? Yeah, I'm never going to go to him again. If saying facts is racist, then saying that we fought Japan in the Second World War makes me a racist. And if that's what makes you a racist, I'm proud to be one. I'll proudly be a racist. But the thing is, that isn't racism. It's the truth, it's the facts, and so fuck yourselves. I went and found statistics from the FBI and other government sites for crimes, and from the year 2012, due to the fact that I could only get a census from 2012 on the US population. And I worked out in that year, if you gather 100 black Americans into a room from the ages of 15 to 65, 9 of them will have committed a crime in that year. Now, Devin says the ages are more like 12 and 13, and if that's true, it's even worse at 19 out of 100 committing crimes that year. And that's considering that they've only committed one crime, which is probably wrong. So it's probably a bit lower, but I can't really make do for that. So, admittedly, this is flawed, and I say that, but these are the numbers. Now, DP, I like you and Devin, but at the end of the day, the facts aren't on your side. Devin, if you ever want to do a conversation or something, you have my Twitter and email, and I would love to speak to you. At the end of the day, the lines have been crossed, and I'm siding